Welcome to the wide open spaces, friendly faces, and adventurous places of Boundary Country. From high up on the mountains to down where the rivers meet, this region of the Thompson Okanagan is all about soil, centeredness, and growth. Located smack dab in the middle of British Columbia's southern interior, between the Rockies and the Pacific, Boundary Country is a bit north of the United States border, a bit east of the Okanagan, and a tad west of the West Kootenay. It's the definition of centered and connected. Traditional corridors of transportation, such as the Kettle Valley Railway and Dewdney Trail, were originally built to service the booming gold and copper industries of the late 1800s, but have since transformed into modern-day routes of recreation for your pleasure and easy access to all corners and communities of this diverse region. Choose your method. Rivers, roads, rails, or trails, Boundary has got them all. From the alpine peaks of the Monachees and pristine Christian Valley in the north, the Kettle Valley River flows south along Highway 33 to the ranch lands of Rock Creek. This is country for horseback riding, mountain biking, and golfing off the beaten track. Stop at a farm stand, cafe, or market to keep up your adventurous spirit. You can even try your luck at gold panning. If you're visiting in mid-September, bring the whole family to one of the last true agricultural fairs. For over 60 years, the Rock Creek Fall Fair has brought families together for a day of fun at the biggest little fair around. Further downstream along the Kettle River, heading east on the Crow's Nest Highway, you'll discover the village of Midway. Back when it was known as Boundary City, not just one, but 3 railroads converged in Midway, each fighting for prominence. Shots were fired, and insults were thrown. The tracks are all gone now, turned into trails for hikers and bikers who start on the famous Kettle Valley Trail right here at Mile Zero. Be sure to visit the Kettle River Museum while in Midway. Built in 1900, it houses exhibits about the steam railway era, and you can even climb aboard a Canadian Pacific Railway caboose. Rich in natural, unspoiled environment, outdoor adventure, and historical charm, Boundary came to prominence with the discovery of gold and copper in the latter 19th century. Prosperous towns mushroomed and then faded, many leaving only ghosts, along with a rich heritage and some of the best preserved period architecture in BC. The charming community of Greenwood boasts some of these well-preserved heritage buildings, where you can step back in time just by wandering through the colorful downtown and nearby historic residences. Enjoy the early 20th century architecture while browsing in quaint shops or stopping at a cafe to connect with the locals or other travelers. Maps for self-guided heritage walks can be picked up from the Greenwood Museum and Visitor Center, where you'll also find a full complement of historical artifacts that reveal unique stories behind the people and places of Boundary. Speaking of unique, Greenwood was bestowed the honor of Best Tap Water in the World at an international water competition, which rated the H2O according to taste, feel, aroma, appearance, and aftertaste. Be sure to fill up your water bottles before leaving town because it doesn't get any better than this, literally. On the heels of the mining boom, a new influx of settlers was beginning to arrive in Boundary Country. The Doukhobors, or spirit wrestlers, came from Russia and the Ukraine in search of refuge, fertile land, and quality of life. They found it all in Grand Forks, where they established orchards, gardens, beehives, and mills. You'll find modern-day descendants and traces of Doukhobor culture dotted throughout Boundary, including the famous and tasty dish of borscht. I can't think of a better way to connect in with a community than through its cuisine, and Grand Forks has no shortage of dining options. Woven into the fabric that is Grand Forks are many different nationalities, and with their own personalities, skills, and culture, they have enhanced this community and given it a character all its own. You can experience this diversity firsthand while visiting any number of local artisans, farmers markets, art galleries, museums, restaurants, and attractions, such as the Rock Candy Mine or Boundary Museum. To get the lowdown on where you need to start, allow the friendly and knowledgeable staff of Grand Forks Visitor Center guide you in the right direction. Boundary Country was, is, and always will be adventure unlimited. The rivers, lakes, grasslands, and mountains have all set the stage for everything you could ever possibly want to do, year-round. The hardest decision you'll have to make in Boundary Country is choosing what to do. Golf, hike, mountain bike, ATV, swim, tube, boat, canoe, kayak, fish, ski, snowboard, snowmobile. This is truly the land of the grand, great outdoors, and it'll keep you moving. So saddle up, because you're in for a fun ride. Here's another fun fact. Did you know Boundary Country is home to the warmest tree-lined lake in Canada? Drenched in summer sun, Christina Lake is legendary for its warm, clean water, ideal for swimming, boating, and water sports. Numerous sandy beaches and parks are dotted around the lake, which has an average water temperature of 23 degrees Celsius throughout the summer months. The surrounding mountains have an abundance of hiking and biking trails, some of BC's finest. The Trans-Canada Trail runs through the area with trestle bridges, tunnels, and the spectacular Cascade Gorge. Nearby, Kettle River is a great mild kayaking or tubing run, while golfers can choose between two excellent courses. In winter, cross-country trails are abundant. Snowshoeing is very accessible, or you can downhill at nearby Phoenix, Mount Baldy, and Big White. Generation after generation of travelers have been exploring the riches of Boundary Country. From gold diggers to thrill seekers, every decade has brought its own twists and turns. And now, the Boundary Country story includes artists, chefs, farmers, merchants, professionals, and maybe, if you're lucky, you. Isn't it time you stepped out of line and discovered what makes this part of the Thompson Okanagan so legendary? To dig up the real story on Boundary Country, head to www.boundarybc.com. You'll find everything you need to plan a well-grounded, down-to-earth, straight-up excursion into the heart of centeredness. Visit the Thompson Okanagan region. Super, natural, British Columbia.